Hey guys, welcome back. It's Talsy. So you are being hit on all the time, left, right, and center. All your exes have come back. Every man, every woman walking down the street, whatever your gender, your preference, whatever it applies, it's just like coming out of the woodwork, hitting on you, except your SP. All right. So we're going to talk about this today and why this may be happening. And also I wanted to bring this up because a client of mine reached out yesterday, and it's not the first time that I've heard it. So it kind of reminded me that this is a good thing to talk about. It's also something that I went through sort of years ago, early on when I started conscious manifesting. And I want to explain this to you guys today in a way that's very relatable, kind of fun, and I'm going to get you to understand why when this happens, it has nothing to do with whether or not something is working or not working when it comes to your SP, and how we can actually just this little tweak is going to help you guys to actually get exactly what you have selected for yourself. And no, you don't need to settle. I mean, you guys are welcome to go with whoever you want to go with, but it's really all coming down to you and your selection. Okay, so I'm going to explain this right now, and I'm going to use my bucket analogy, and I'm going to get into that. Guys, it's very similar to what I do in my tarot readings when I talk about, you know, choosing your bucket and everything else going into the Fucket bucket. So let's get into it. So firstly, the message that came through from my client, who told me that since we've had our session, I think it was a couple of months ago or something like that, and from memory she's done a program or two of mine through Shift with Talsy. She told me that since we first spoke, she's been noticing that a lot of her exes are suddenly reaching out, right? And a lot of people are asking her, like those exes, and other people like, is she single, right? So she's getting attention left, right, and center, okay? And she also said, like, wow, it's so incredible to see how well this is working. But then she said, you know, but still nothing from my SP. And so she said, well, why is this all happening but still nothing from them? Like, does that mean it's not working for my SP? I really, really want my SP. Okay, why haven't they shown up yet? Of course, I said to her, you don't need to stress about this. This is no indication of whether or not your SP is showing up or going to show up or whatever. And I also, first up, said to her, stop treating your SP like they're the exception. And guys, this is important because you're the one making exceptions when really you make the rules. First and foremost, you need to understand that if you keep treating your specific person as someone that needs a whole lot of extra work, attention, effort with your manifestation rituals or whatever you're doing, you're basically saying that they somehow sit outside of the bucket that you selected. Okay, I'm going to explain that because for me, the bucket analogy basically is you, your I am, an identity, which I would liken to the state of consciousness, your state of being, which also corresponds to your reality, guys. Self-concept, okay, and we're going to get into that because a lot of you, why you're seeing all this stuff reflected in your reality is it's coming down to your state of being where you have a self-concept. A lot of you know that because I teach self-concept in tandem with thinking and assuming that you are the person that has your desire, right? So a lot of you have selected an identity, and so we have a bucket where you have a self-concept, right? Like, I'm irresistible, I'm hot as fuck, everyone I want wants me, everyone I want wants me a million times more, everyone wants a relationship with me, great. And I always explain this to you guys when I talk about the bucket. So who's in that bucket if you say everyone? Well, everyone, right? Exes, everybody, people walking down the street, okay, new people, but your SP is included in that bucket. I'm going to turn this around because the other side's the Fucket bucket, okay? So everybody's included in that bucket, and the bucket, what's the bucket, guys? It's you. You're it. You're this bucket, okay? But what you're doing here is, when you're saying, well, here I am, I've chosen this identity, this bucket where everybody wants me, and then you said, okay, this is my identity, and my self-concept. So we're also assuming that you have your SP, right? So you're saying, well, I said I'm irresistible, I'm magnetic, and now you're saying, okay, well, my SP finds me irresistible, my SP finds me magnetic, my SP wants a relationship with me. Amazing. So you selected that bucket, right? Now everyone else in your reality, because they do belong in the bucket, starts reflecting back exactly what you stated, okay? What you affirmed, okay? They're all reflecting you in your bucket. But somehow you're like, well, is SP in the bucket or is SP not in the bucket? Now let me explain what's actually going on from a consciousness perspective when you're feeling like SP is not in the bucket, okay? Now guys, like I said, the bucket, it's you. Your reality and everyone in it is reflecting you and what you have stated, okay? And who you assume yourself to be. So what doesn't belong in this bucket that you have selected is all of the conditions and all of the circumstances and all of the rationale for why your SP is not around, okay? They haven't texted me yet. There's no movement. They're stubborn. They said that they don't want to see me again. They said they don't want a relationship. It's taking a long time. That belongs in the fuck it bucket. It's another state of consciousness, guys. It's another version of you, another reality, okay? So here's the important part, guys, and I hope I'm making sense. The fuck it bucket and the bucket that you say you selected, where your magnetic as fuck and SP belongs in there, showing up, treating you like you're magnetic, wanting to commit to you, they actually both exist now, okay? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not next week, okay? Both buckets exist now, right? So it's not about when you finally crawled out of the fuck it bucket where SP is taking too long, hasn't texted you, doesn't want you, but everybody else wants you. That's a bucket, okay? And the bucket where your SP, just like everybody else, right, is chasing you, pursuing you, wanting a commitment with you, a relationship with you, also exists now, okay? So the bucket being your state of consciousness, it's you. So if you've consciously selected, let's say, the bucket, coming back to it, I'm magnetic, I'm irresistible, everybody wants me, I'm always committed to, I'm always chosen, and you said, my SP wants a relationship with me, my SP loves me, my SP finds me irresistible, my SP wants me and only me, then why are you reaching over and selecting another bucket every single time you think about your SP, okay? The bucket where they're stubborn, the bucket where they haven't reached out yet. It's like you're still trying to crawl out of the fuck it bucket and you think that maybe in a week or 2 weeks or something like that, you're going to be in the other bucket. You know what I'm saying? Or you're thinking they're not interested, everyone else is interested, they're not interested, nothing's happening, there's no movement, there's a third party. I walked down the street, I saw them, they appear to be ignoring me. That's like all, guys, a completely different bucket, but it's all now. Okay? So here's the beautiful, magical part, right? All it takes is to choose again. Which bucket are you sitting in, right? And understand that because that bucket is your reality and everybody in your reality sits within that bucket, great. So now we make a decision again. We choose again right now because that's the only moment that matters, the now moment, okay? And that's the only moment you've ever had to choose. So start again. If you're all things, you're it, you're all of it, and you get to decide which state or which identity or which bucket you're sitting in right now. And you know for a fact that everything within that bucket must match you, your assumptions about yourself and about everyone else. And we have the self-concept on point, you know, magnetic, irresistible, chosen, everybody commits to me, everybody wants me. And then we assume from there that your SP fitting in that bucket feels exactly the same, wants exactly the same thing. The version of your relationship that you selected that belongs in your bucket, okay? Then we can safely assume in the now moment, this is a fact. Okay, so the next time you catch yourself saying, wow, everyone seems interested in me right now, but what about my SP? Catch yourself and say, hang on a second, of course my SP wants me. Of course they're thinking about me. I'm thinking about them because they must be thinking about me. Of course they want a relationship with me because this is who I am. This is the bucket that I'm in. So assume it, okay? Whatever you're assuming about them, from your state of being, which is the bucket, it's a fact. You're in that reality. So you don't have to wait until your circumstances agree. You don't have to wait. All the circumstances, conditions, etc. that you think belong, they don't belong. They belong in the fuck it bucket. We're not bringing them into the now moment, okay? So you don't have to wait until tomorrow. You don't have to wait until next week. You don't have to wait until they text. You don't have to try harder to crawl into the bucket that you want, okay? All you need to do is decide again in the now. You say, this is who I am. This is who they are. This is my reality. It applies the same as anyone else that is showing up and any ex that's returning and anyone else that you're meeting that's coming into your reality and confirming more and more of who you say you are and what you're assuming, guys. So do this in the now moment again and again to reinforce that, and your reality must reflect, okay? It's going to move around you, rearrange. So if you catch yourself slipping into that fuck it bucket in the now, and you want help being consistent with this and choosing again in the now and making this your habit and your practice, you can grab any of my tools that help you with guided consistency. You can get the switch your assumption in real time. You can get you can't lose love. You can get the spiral stopper if you feel like you keep going on some kind of a tangent and spiraling and finding yourself trying to crawl out of your fuck bucket in the now, in the now, in the now. They're all there to help you to interrupt a pattern, return to the bucket you've consciously selected, your state of being, and practice living from it so you actually experience the shifts. And your SP is no exception, guys. And the fact that my client and a number of you who've spoken to me over time have explained that this has happened is very, very strong evidence that this shit works very well. Okay, so it's simply about deciding who you are in relation to everyone, okay, no exceptions, and then who you are in relation to your SP. Okay, so next time you find that you want to ask yourself, what does this mean? Forget it. Say, which bucket am I selecting right now? Then choose the one that you actually want. Know that this is fact. Know that this is now. Nothing else belongs there. Everything else that you don't want belongs in the fuck it bucket, okay? Because at its heart, that's what manifestation comes down to, okay? It's your I am, it's your state of consciousness, your identity, it's your self-concept, and that's your reality, okay? And that is what reality will reflect back to you. So think and assume as the you, that's in the bucket that you prefer, in the identity you prefer, in the version of reality that you prefer. Sustain it, and you can't really mess it up, guys. I love you guys so much. I hope that was helpful. You can let me know, and I'll check in with you soon.